What's good, YouTube? It's been a hot minute since I last uploaded, and I'm getting really sick and tired of having to do this thing over and over and over and over again. I'm pretty sure you guys are tired of hearing the same bullshit excuses every single time I make one of these videos, but this video is gonna be very different. It's gonna be real deep. It's gonna be very deep, and for those of you who know me on a personal level, family, friends, etc., you guys are gonna hear a lot from me. It's not easy for me to say and explain everything that's happened over the last year, but I'm gonna try my best to run this shit down and summarize it as best as I can and be brief, because I don't want to bore you guys that are watching. But if you are deciding to watch and listen to what I have to say, it's much appreciated. I know I have a very small community and support or fan base, whatever you want to call yourselves, but life hasn't been that fair to me, and it's mostly because of the choices I have made and things I've done and the way I've chosen to live. And I tried setting myself up for success. I tried doing things the right way, and I keep messing things up. It's not self-sabotage. I don't think it is, but I've been given opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to get my life straight, and keep myself on the right track. For starters, it was 2024, late 2024. I had just gotten into a relationship, and it was with someone that I had known for a very long time, and I waited for this person for 6 years, right? And it was finally time, I guess, that I tried to get into a relationship with this person, right? I had never met her in person before, but I've known this person for a very long time. We met, we clicked, we fell in love, and to tell you the truth, we kind of rushed into it. Honestly, we kind of rushed into it. We got really into our feelings, and we just got together too soon. 2025 rolls around, and the person I'm with, we're talking about moving in together already after being together for almost 2 months. Yeah, whoop-de-doo. Big mistake right there. At the time where I was staying in my dad's trailer, and I had just gotten a new job. Right after I lost a job because of a car accident, I was no longer able to attend that one job. So the new said job that I had got was game breaking. I was going to be making over $3,000 a month. I was able to get my own apartment, even though I didn't really want to, because I was staying in my dad's trailer and it was going to be cheaper, right? I had fallen behind on paying my dad for that lot, because obviously without a job, I'm not going to be able to pay my dad. And I get a job. I got the job. I started working in January 2025, right? And I'm trying to save up money so I can go ahead and start paying my dad back for the times that I fell behind, right? Out of nowhere, and to my surprise, he tells me that, hey, you're gonna have to move out of said trailer. And I try to negotiate with my dad and be like, hey, I just got a job. I'm more than able to pay for living in the trailer now. I can pay for the lot, pay for the insurance, and if I can, maybe eventually own it. But he doubts my capabilities and tells me I gotta be gone by a certain date. So I had no choice but to listen and comply with him. And I moved out, got an apartment quickly, put the apartment under my name for the lease, and I made the mistake to make it a yearly lease instead of 6 months. And the only reason why I made it a 12-month lease was because I believed that, at the time, that me and this person were never going to separate, that I was never going to lose that person. I had intentions on being with this person for the rest of my life. And I thought, maybe she'll find a job while staying with me over here. Never happened. Time goes by. We have me and this person. We start having arguments, and I have work-related stress that I'm bringing home because I'm still kind of learning the whole, serious relationships and how to manage emotions and everything. And things start to crumble. And eventually, over the months that passed by with me and this person being together, another person comes in the picture, right? And she promises me that this person that she has no interest in this person, and you get where I'm gonna go with this. I don't really need to say much, but eventually in June, one day I wake up very early in the morning getting phone calls from the person I was with. She tells me that, hey, leave the keys at the door. I'm packing and leaving. And she didn't say specifically why she's leaving, or she didn't say she was breaking up with me till after I got off work that day. Mind you, at the time I was working at that job, I was working 12-hour shifts in heat and working at an installation plant, which those two things together, it sucks. I was miserable. Okay, I was really miserable. I was getting bullied by someone that's a higher superior at work, dealing with heat and insulation, and it was just, I was miserable. I was honestly miserable. I came back home from work, and I see that the house is a mess. The dogs are walking around. Which is fine, they're walking around, but they look sad. And I start to feel sad because, hold on, something doesn't feel right here. The way she left, I can tell she left in a hurry because she left a shit ton of stuff behind, right? So I called this person, and I'm like, hey, so what's going on? Are you dumping me? And she said, yeah, pretty much. And I apparently, according to her, I wasn't doing enough. I wasn't being emotionally supportive anymore. Basically, the spark was gone. That's pretty much what she was saying. At that very moment that happened, I broke. I completely let myself go. After the end of the relationship, I let myself go. That same week I got dumped, I had gotten arrested, and my apartment flooded. And my refrigerator went bad, and so did all my food. It was a really rough summer for 2025. And eventually, it started affecting me at work. I allowed it to affect me at work. I got into my feelings way too much and distracted, and my priorities weren't straight. I focused on trying to recover the relationship and save it and try to reconcile with said person, only for her to take advantage of me and use me physically, manipulate me, and eventually toss me to the side when she was done with me. And what really broke me the most throughout that entire escapade was the fact that I was over here thinking that, the relationship is going to be saved. She's giving me a chance to go ahead and redeem myself, blah, blah, blah. And I did some really down bad stuff that I'm not going to really get into too much. But I will say that this person quite literally told me that she finds me physically attractive, but doesn't love me anymore. She loves the other guy, but doesn't find him physically attractive. She told me that in my face, after having an intimate moment together. I couldn't look her in the eyes after that, and then she kicked me out. Drove home 2 hours in complete silence, got back home at 4 a.m. with work that same morning, only 3 hours away. And after that, I went to work with a heavy heart, and I didn't work. I couldn't work. All because of a foolish mistake, and my naive self was really hurting. Eventually, it became too much, and I went from the warehouse side to the production side again. And eventually, I got fired. After getting fired, I lost both my cars. Not because of money, well, kind of, but both their engines blew up. I had a 1987 300ZX right here is what it looked like. Beautiful car. It was fun. I neglected the car, unfortunately, and I sent the engine to hell. And then the pickup truck also blew the engine, and then I had to get rid of it too. So, being unemployed, and then not having any cars, and being stuck at my apartment with one more paycheck coming in to be able to pay 1 month's rent, and then I eventually had to sell the Z to be able to pay September's rent. October came along, still didn't have a job. Oh, eventually I did get a job, but it wasn't paying shit. And then I had to leave said job because there was a lot of bad things going on with that job that I didn't want to get involved with. So I left, got me another car. It's a really nice car. It's a 4Runner. Tried doing DoorDash as much as I can. Worked for UPS. Unfortunately, UPS was a temporary job. I was able to make month's rent for October, but for November and December, they pulled the plug on me. I ended up losing my apartment. I tried my hardest to find jobs, and especially in my location, the job market is honestly trash. The job market is honestly trash everywhere in the United States right now. And I've been told to go to the military, but I tried going to the Army just for them to turn me around and say that I can't go because apparently they found something in my system that I don't do, which is interesting, you know? And I guess I kind of took that as a sign of I can't go. And on top of that, I have 2 dogs, and I don't want to get rid of them, especially my lab that I've had for almost 2 years. It's going to be 2 years in a couple weeks, actually. But yeah, I lost my apartment the week of Christmas. I got kicked out. I got evicted. And from there on, I've been trying my absolute hardest to survive and take care of my car because the car is my home. And I know some of you that are watching are probably hysterical right now. And you're probably going to call me and try to look for me. But I just want you to know that I'm okay. That I'm doing whatever I can in the best of my ability to be okay and to survive. I have a plan, and God willing, this plan is going to work. I have faith. I have faith in God that I will get through this. I know I can get through this, but I'm not going to go through this alone. But throughout all these things that I've been experiencing, these since June to this very day, I've learned a lot about myself. I've learned to grow. I've reflected a lot. I've had enough time alone to move on from said person and realize my worth and realize my wrongdoings. And my first mistake was setting my life up for someone else that had no guarantee in being part of my life whatsoever. Yet I took that risk anyways because I was naive and believed and trusted that person that they wouldn't leave me or do me as bad as I thought they would. But it is what it is. Life goes on. You live and you learn, right? And that's why I've been absent. Because I've just been so much going on in my life. I've been trying to get myself back on track. Or keep myself on track. But yet, each time that I do, there is always something that happens. Don't know what it is, but I'm trying my hardest out here, bro. But every day I wake up, and it's for a reason. Sometimes I don't know what the reason is. I mean, honestly, I don't even know what the reason is at all. But God pushes air into my lungs for something. And I'm grateful for it. I get to wake up every morning and see my dogs with me. I get to see the sunrise. I get to eat. I get to be able to make money. And eventually, I'll have another place to stay at and rebuild from there. I'm trying to get back into my roots, getting back into photography. I'm gonna try to get back into gaming if one way or another. I'm not sure, but I'm trying my hardest out here. But for those of you who are going through hard times, whether it's, a little bump in the road, or you're going through a deep ravine of the unknown, you're not alone. There's always somebody there watching you, and you're never gonna be alone. Whether you're religious or not, you're never alone. And I've learned that throughout this entire time that I've been suffering and going through these trials. I believe Jesus has been by my side this entire time. But if you're going through a hard time, just keep pushing forward, no matter how hard it is. Know your worth, know your limitations, trust your gut, trust yourself, because at the end of the day, sometimes you're all you have. Sometimes, you can trust other people, maybe. We live in a day and age where people do things for themselves and have no regard for their actions or for others. So, you gotta keep a lookout for that. But I'll be getting back into making content very soon. Trust that fact. But I think that's all I have to say. And I'll see you guys in the very next video. Peace out.